Previously, Lilith revealed a truth the princesses never knew. Their gifts were not from fairies, but from God himself. Snow was given the courage to stand against darkness. Rapunzel, the faith to hold fast when hope seemed lost. And Beauty, a heart at peace, the power to cross between worlds. But with such divine gifts comes a warning. Use them wisely, for evil grows stronger beneath the blood-red moon. Welcome to Once Upon a Crime, where dark truths, lost legends, and twisted fairy tales come to light. Her ember-lit eyes swept over each of them in turn. Steel your bodies, sharpen your minds, and guard your hearts. For what awaits you is not merely battle, but a war written in blood and shadow. The night was long, but dawn came shrouded in ash-gray light, spilling weakly into the ruined palace through shattered, stained glass. Dust clung to the cobwebbed halls, and in that silence, Lilith began her work. She turned first to Snow White. Her black braid hung loose as she gripped the dagger at her waist. Lilith's hand hovered over the blade, her ember-lit gaze burning through snow. "Courage is already within you," she said. "But courage without mastery is recklessness. You must make your fear serve you, not rule you." Snow raised her dagger, trembling at first, but under Lilith's voice she steadied. Strike after strike, parry after parry, she learned to let fear sharpen her, not shatter her. Then Lilith beckoned Rapunzel forward, golden braid coiled like firelight, whip glimmering at her side. "Faith," Lilith said, "is not blind. Faith is a rope, a tether to something greater. Grip it, and it will not let you fall." Rapunzel cracked the golden whip, sparks scattering in the dim light. With every lash, every sweep, she grew sure, not of her strength, but of the hand that guided her beyond herself. Her faith steadied her arm, her breath, her spirit. At last, Lilith faced Sleeping Beauty. Her silver-white braid shimmered like frost, her pale face serene. "You carry a heart of peace," Lilith whispered, her tone softer now. "But peace is not stillness alone, it is power, the stillness before the storm." Beauty closed her eyes, inhaled, and the air around her stilled. Dust hung motionless, the cobwebs froze like carvings in glass. Even the sound of their breathing faltered. She opened her eyes, and time itself bent beneath her peace. Lilith's voice rose, echoing against the broken stone. "You see now. Courage, faith, peace, these are your gifts, born not of fairy blessing, but of the Almighty himself. Remember this. Evil thrives when men forget God, but through you the world shall see that light yet endures, for you will stand against the sins that devour them." The flames in her eyes dimmed to embers, yet her words struck harder than steel. "Tonight you were taught. Tomorrow you will be tested." That night, when the ruined palace was swallowed in moonlight and cobwebs quivered in the cold wind, Lilith led the three princesses into the great hall. The shattered throne loomed behind her, a crown of dust and ruin. She raised her hands, her voice curling like smoke. "The witches you will face draw strength from sin. To master your gifts, you must first face those sins within yourselves." The floor cracked open. From the shadows crawled twisted figures, shrouded in smoke and fire. They were not witches, not yet, but reflections of the 7 deadly sins, illusions born of Lilith's craft, meant to test. Snow White's Trial, Courage. From the darkness stepped a towering beast, a figure wreathed in wrath, its eyes aflame, its hands like claws. Snow's breath caught, fear gnawing at her chest. Her dagger quivered in her grip. "Strike not with trembling hands," Lilith called, her ember-lit gaze fixed on her. "Let your fear sharpen your edge, not break it." Snow exhaled, steady now. She lunged, dagger flashing, courage burning brighter than her terror. The beast fell in ashes, and Snow stood taller than before. Rapunzel's Trial, Faith. A figure of greed slithered forth, its hands laden with gold and jewels that melted into ash the moment they touched the floor. It whispered in honeyed tones, tempting her to trade her whip for promises of kingdoms, thrones, and crowns. Rapunzel's golden braid gleamed as she lifted her whip. "Faith is worth more than treasure," she said, her voice unwavering. The whip cracked, splitting the illusion apart. Sparks filled the air, and her faith burned stronger than any temptation. Sleeping Beauty's Trial, Peace. From the shadows rose Envy, a mirror-like figure bearing her own reflection, twisted and cruel, whispering lies. "You will never be enough. You slept. You lost a century. Others will always surpass you." Beauty's silver braid glowed in the pale light as her lips parted in silence. She closed her eyes, breathing deep, her heart as still as the frozen lake. Time slowed, then stopped. The whispers fell silent. When her eyes opened again, the mirror shattered into dust. Lilith's voice cut through the stillness, fierce as fire over stone. "You see now, sin cannot be slain by steel alone. Courage, faith, and peace are the true weapons that sin cannot devour. But beware, the real witches will not come as shadows. They will come clothed in beauty, power, and lies. If you falter, they will feed." The hall fell quiet. The shadows retreated, yet in that silence, each princess knew the truth. This was only the beginning. And by the power vested to Sleeping Beauty herself, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tap that little bell, and who knows, you just might live happily ever after.